intense, and there's just that pressure of what this tournament brings, especially being a part of the first Pac-12 tournament. This is a postseason feel all day. But this team is playing their best softball, and if any time is the time to be feeling it and feeling confident, obviously the day before selection show, now's the time.
Bodstrom slow tap towards second. There's the flip out at second, safe at first. Anna Vines back playing second base. Got that to Maya Brady for the force at second.
And when these two teams squared off earlier, I'll get to that one sec, just good defense here. Good to see Vines back at second base, Mark. She went down. She did not play yesterday. She actually ended up running into the umpire. So they've added that fourth umpire, and they placed them right behind second base. There was a little pop-up, and Vines collided, so took a little time off. But last time out, Framo threw against Utah. Threw 2 separate times, but 12 innings total, gave up the 9 hits. Just the 1 earned run, had 8 strikeouts. So she threw well a couple weeks ago when these teams squared off.
Julia Jimenez, hot-hitting third baseman at the plate for the Utes. She takes a strike. Ramo gets ahead 0-2. Utah's trying to flip the script. That series you were talking about, Ramo pitching twice against Utah. At the end of April, Utes were swept by UCLA. Lost 3-0, 10-1 in 6 innings, and 11-3. Jimenez coming off a big day yesterday in their win over Washington. 3 for 4, a double, home run, knocked in 3. Big day for her.
We asked Coach Damie Hogue just plan of attack offensively, and she said, as soon as I get the lineup, Coach Gasso, the hitting coach, DJ Gasso, who's been on staff with Paige Parker for the last 2 years, gets all the information of the hitters, the charts, everything gets up in the dugout, so these hitters are on board with the plan of attack.
Back towards Faremo, off her glove. Brady has no play. Looking like an infield hit for Jimenez. The Utes have 2 on with 1 out.
You see Framo kind of reach for it. And listen, when the ball's hit right at you, sometimes it's a little bit deceptive as a pitcher. Is it coming at me hot? How do I get to it? And just not able to glove that one up.
It has scored a base hit and gives Jimenez a 5-game hitting streak. Faremo faces the cleanup hitter, Sophie Jaquez. All Pac-12 second team this year for the junior Jaquez. Balls, no strikes. 4 home runs this year for Jaquez. One of those came off UCLA. It was off Brooke Yanez in the April 29th game. Ramo falls behind 3-0 and gets a visit from Alexis Ramirez, the catcher, and Anna Vines briefly.
Listen, in this tournament, Utah has been really swinging it. I mean, 20 for 58, 14 runs. They've had 3 home runs. They've never trailed in the 2 games that they've played. And 7 for 19 with runners in scoring position, so 368. And that's what it comes down to, especially once you get into the chunk of postseason play. It comes down to that timely hitting.
Right side, Vines takes the out at first base. The other runners advance 60 feet. Bonstrom at third and Jimenez at second as Utah trying to draw first blood, and it would be a huge thing for the Utes to get on the board first today. Here's their catcher, Kendall Lundberg. Ramirez, the catcher, got to be careful there. She almost threw that over the head of Megan Faremo, getting the ball back to the pitcher. Backing out of play, and it's 0-2.
These are the counts where Megan Faremo can turn it on, her time to shine. 0-2 is majority of the time a pitcher's favorite counts, when you can toy with the hitter a little bit. Pitching coach Lisa Fernandez just going out to have a quick chat with everyone.
Is this an interesting time with an 0-2 count?
A little bit, and I don't know if Coach Fernandez is seeing something with the runners, just calling everybody in to talk about it. You saw Fernandez calling in, Vines calling in Maya Brady. Usually a pitching coach will head out there and just kind of have that interaction with pitcher catcher, but talking shop with everyone, getting everyone on the same page.
And I think what's on their mind is what we just talked about. And when we talked with Coach Kelly Inouye Perez before the game, they know that Utah's played really well, playing with a lot of confidence. They do not want to see Utah to take an early lead in this game and maintain that level of confidence. Coach I. Her team has won 25 straight games coming in, equaling the longest winning streak they've ever had under Coach Inouye Perez.
I'm not even sure how Lundberg was able to reach that pitch. That was in the other's batter's box. And if I see that type of swing as a pitcher, Faremo, I'm thinking, all right, man, she's swinging at this pitch 4 balls off the plate. So now that's my time to bring something way off. Whether it's the rise ball, you really climb the ladder on something, or you go with the drop and you keep it way down.
And Faremo gets the strikeout to win the inning, and Utah strands a couple of runners in scoring position in the first.
And I'm all about the energy and the fact that we're seeing this right out of the gate. Utah put some pressure on. The Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year says absolutely. From her start yesterday against Washington, she threw great. She throws strikes, has great command of the zone. And I think something that stood out for me was that changeup. She was able to bring it in at certain counts, had great command. That's what she's going to need to be able to do today.
Megan Grant fouls the first pitch away from Lopez. You know and I were talking before the game, and it didn't happen every time, but a lot of teams avoided throwing their ace when they faced Megan Faremo in UCLA, just trying to save their ace for hopefully a game that they thought they had a better chance of winning. So when you say we got 2 aces tonight, it's been kind of rare for Faremo.
Well, and that was something that Coach Kelly Inouye Perez said. She said, I hope that we get to have that opportunity to have the 2 big dogs for both these teams going at it. That's a different type of gut feeling as a pitcher. When you're looking across and you know that that is the ace, it's just this different aura, swagger that you carry in the circle, knowing that it's that head-to-head kind of matchup a little bit against the best.
Pac-12 Coach of the Year, Kelly Inouye Perez, 3rd time she has won that award. We had about what we planned on. We didn't want to take a lot of Coach Inouye Perez's time before the game, so we thought, let's go over and talk to her for 5 minutes, and it went about 20 because she's
she's great.
Yes.
Both these coaches, Amy Ho gave us so much time.
Yep.
Coach Kelly Inouye Perez, because I think they're just so proud of these programs. They want us to talk about these women and the work that's gone into getting them to the finals of this Pac-12 tournament.
Lopez gets a strikeout of Grant to begin the bottom of the first inning.
Really pretty pitch by Lopez, climbing the ladder on Megan Grant. And listen, she's been getting eaten alive by that rise ball. Had 3 strikeouts yesterday against Nyjah Kennedy, who is that rise ball specialist for Stanford. Mariah Lopez goes right there, gets the strikeout.
Amaya Brady bats with the bases empty. This year's Pac-12 Player of the Year, won the Pac-12 batting title. Still has a chance to win the Triple Crown in the Pac-12, because those numbers include the entire season. And she has put up some very lofty numbers. Did she go? No. Third base umpire Tracy Laycock says she did not go around. And I don't know if there are a lot of Utah fans here, or they are just a lot of local Arizona fans that don't want to root for UCLA. We're booing that. Ooh, wow.
I mean, all day.
Yeah, that's
a gift.
She went around. Oh, instead of 1-1, it's a 2-0 pitch coming from Mariah Lopez. This one, I think she did check. Appealed again, and she did hold up 3-0.
Well, Maya Brady in this tournament, 3 for 7, but 2 of the 3 hits have been home runs. 3 ribbies in this tournament. She loves swinging it in Hildebrand Stadium. 471, 8 for 17, has 5 home runs, 10 ribbies in this park this year. She's homered in each game she's played in.
And a 4-pitch walk to Brady. Let's take a look at the full lineup for the Bruins tonight for Coach Kelly Inouye Perez. We talked about Anna Vines, who was involved in a kind of a freak collision with an umpire in the first game here against Arizona on Thursday night. Didn't play yesterday. She's back in the lineup and hit in the 6-hole.
Well, the one thing that I look at when I look at that lineup is that there's 7 lefties. Mariah Lopez, lefty in the circle. Those lefty-lefty matchups at times are harder for the hitter.
Rollery hits one deep center field and run down. Abby Dayton got a great break on that ball and right on the edge of the warning track. Hauled that in.
It's a good job by Dayton. Stays on this warning track. Next play right out of the gate.
It sends up Aaliyah Jordan. Strike one on the outside edge to Aaliyah. San Diego area native from Chula Vista. First game this season was March 24th at Oregon, coming back from an ACL injury she suffered early in the season in 2022 at the Clearwater Invitational.
And talk about a selfless human being with just 2 injuries, gotten 2 medical red shirts, the commitment to UCLA and having a rehab and still want to make that decision to be around it. Most athletes with 2 medical red shirts are like, I'm out. I don't want to do the training room. I don't want to deal with that anymore. But I also think it adds a lot of value to have someone like that, even through the injuries, to be able to be in the dugout, to helping these athletes. And at times, Coach Kelly Inouye Perez said she's almost like a coach at times. She knows so much about the game.
High fly, deep right field, up and out, and Aaliyah Jordan gives UCLA a 2-0 lead. Fifth of the year for Jordan. And she hit one high into the twilight here in Tucson.
Well, and Aaliyah Jordan has been 0 for in this tournament until this swing. And she got beat on this rise ball a couple pitches previously on the inner half. And that same pitch came, and she just absolutely annihilates it. Pulls it to right field, no doubter. And her mom, Alicia, is loving it. You know, the old me, Mark, never would have got like choked up when you see the families. Now that I have kids and they flash to the families, I'm like, dang, like I know what it's like to be a parent, so I can only imagine what Mama Bear is thinking in that moment.
Especially with all the issues that her daughter, Aaliyah, has been through that you outlined so well. And
yeah.
UCLA has not lost when scoring first this season.
You got to bring her the ball. You know, they do that in Oklahoma City. We should try to make that a thing here in this.
In the Pac-12 tournament?
Yeah.
Since this is just year one, we can add some things year to year. That's an early Mother's Day present, I would assume. Savvy Pola had a tremendous game last night. 2 for 3, knocked in the only run of the game. Played very well defensively at second base. So good that with Vines back at second base tonight, Coach Inouye Perez says Pola's got to stay in the lineup, and let's put her in right field.
Well, think about how many pitches she saw off Nyjah Kennedy. Like, she battled close to 20 pitches in 2 ABs off of Nyjah when some of her teammates were just 3 pitches and you're out. So she's seeing the ball well. She's making the pitcher work, and she's someone that you can't deny an opportunity to be in a ball game right now.
And another deep at bat for Savannah Pola. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Back towards the middle. Speared by Belardi. Low but out at first to retire the side. They get 1 hit in the inning.
Amy Hogue, and I think more importantly, it brought her out of her comfort zone a little bit. I think DJ Gasso coming in hot with this mentality to just, hey, this is what we're going to be about, and I'm going to challenge these hitters. And at times, I don't think Coach Hogue thought that the team was ready for it. And he said, it doesn't matter. This is the things that we want to do. If we want to be elite, we have to be able to tap into these different things. And it's pretty incredible to think about where this team has gone just in that short 2-year period. This is a team that didn't even make the postseason last year. And now, in my opinion, it's a team that I would prefer to not really face. And these two right here, Paige Parker and DJ Gasso, are a big reason for that.
Well, if you're going to hire 2 very important coaches, and your pitching coach and DJ, obviously with Mom Patty and working with hitters, etc., you know, go grab a few of the talent from the team that's done so well recently. Why not? And they have made it an immediate impact over the last couple of years.
I mean, we all know Patty Gasso's the GOAT, so if you get an opportunity to take one of her kids, hey, we got a little GOAT like here and DJ Gasso, let's bring him in and kind of tap into that elite level mindset. And they actually did something this fall where they challenged Paige Parker and DJ Gasso, put together this workout plan. It was an hour, and Coach Amy Hogue was like, no way, the team's not ready. And these two were like, hey, it's going to be an hour, we're going to do it.
Wow, this ball spanked Davison, hits it into the bleachers in left center field, and that wakes up the offense for Utah. And those grueling workouts in the gym and on the track, they paid off.
And I just apologize for even talking over this, because this was such a tank to left. This is a thing of beauty. This got out of here in a heartbeat. Such a good swing on a pitch on the inner half, not fooled by the velocity, up in the zone. And listen, a fun little stat, Mark, 24 of the 56 runs here in this tournament have come via the home run. That's 43% of the runs, all from the home, or from that home run, which Obviously, we know the ball flies here in Arizona, but kind of cool little nugget from our stat guy, Jeff Muir.
And the second homer of the tournament for Davison. She had a solo shot as well in their game 2 days ago against Cal. She's been on a home run binge. 2-homer game May 6th. And she is keeping it rolling in the postseason.
And look where she's at. She's 7-hitter in the lineup. And I think that's the one thing that I've taken note of over the last couple games of Utah in this Pac-12 tournament. It's not just the top of the lineup that performs. This is a lineup that's built on speed. They have that short game. They will exploit the defense, but more importantly, they have the power in the pop, 1 through 9. I mean, when your 8-hitter has 28 stolen bases on the year, you know you feel confident when you get to the bottom half to be able to turn it over.
Haley Denning. Couple of hits for her in the win over Washington yesterday. And if you're Utah here, Danielle, yes, you just saw Leah Jordan hit a 2-run home run way out to right field in the bottom of the first inning. But your offense, the Utes, have put something on the board here in response right away.
And there's no panic button. So the response is huge, and that gives someone like Mariah Lopez just, I can take a breath. Nice, our team's going to be able to find a way to score some runs here.
Second strikeout for Faremo. And coming up tomorrow night, Sunday Night Baseball, we're going to take you to Fenway Park. The Red Sox host the Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app with Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. First pitch just after 7 Eastern. Good look. The sun is set here in the desert in Tucson. This is when the weather really gets nice in this area, when the sun sets.
That's what I was going to say. It's the only way I'm going to be living in Arizona.
Your Northwest roots do not allow you to indulge in really hot weather for any stretch of time.
Absolutely not. I like a good sweater weather.
Kayla Nelson, the DP tonight, batting in the 9th spot, takes a strike. First action in this Pac-12 tournament for Kayla Nelson, who's a sophomore transfer, spent a year at Oregon State as a true freshman. Last year played all 50 games, was a starter. A team that went in the Women's College World Series. So Kayla does have experience going to Oklahoma City last year.
Pitch.
I knew you would like that. Ed Cooper, the plate umpire, thought it was off the plate at some point.
You thought it was off the plate?
No, Ed Cooper.
Okay, because I was going to say,
umpire.
like, hey, you're supposed to have my backup here,
Yeah,
partner.
yeah, no, we got your back. We got your back. That's ball 4. That one was a little off the plate. That walk is the first issued by Faremo, and it keeps the top of the second going for the Utes and turns the lineup over. Leah Bellardi singled to left to begin the game. Right to third base, speared by Woolery, who is in tight, and throws out Bellardi to retire the side. But Utah on the board with it. Kelly Inouye Perez is in her 17th season as the head coach, but her 35th consecutive season as part of the UCLA program. Anna Vines leading off Bruins' second inning. Drops it down, bare hand, throw to first. Not in time. Really good play, though, by the third baseman, Jimenez, to even make it anywhere near close. One base hit for Anna Vines.
I mean, this is just dirty. She drops it right in front, barrel straight through it, off the end of the bat. Jimenez does everything she can to make it close, but Vines, a ton of speed. Love to see it. It's good that she's back. I mean, she was down, had a collision with the umpire, did not play yesterday, but she's back in the lineup today.
There's a bunt laid down by Powell, and it spins back foul. Yeah, you can get banged up a lot of different ways when you're playing this sport, but you don't usually anticipate a collision with an umpire generating that. And it was just one of those fluky things. And as you mentioned, 4 umpires here for the Pac-12 tournament, which is one more than usual.
What the postseason is about, though.
Yep.
Gets them used to what it's like having an umpire just right up the middle.
Wow, somehow got out of the way of that one, right in on her.
And we asked Coach Damie Hogue about Mariah Lopez getting the ball again, back-to-back starts, last time coming February 17th and 18th. And she said she's a Tucson kid. She knows this heat. Family's here. It's a good opportunity for her to understand what it's going to be like once you move into the postseason.
Yeah, Mariah Lopez won a couple of state titles in high school. Cienega High School just outside of Tucson, 2017 and 2018. So really, this is her hometown. Threw a no-hitter in her last regular season start. Three balls and a strike on Kennedy Powell. Part of the all Pac-12 freshman team and part of this extremely impressive freshman class for Kelly Anyway Perez this year at UCLA. You know, the way the transfer portal and life is now, not only in college softball, but college sports, it still is a big deal to get really good freshmen to come into your program, and UCLA has done that.
The game has definitely changed when it comes to transfer portal and the speed dating piece of it. It is very different than what the game used to be like when you start recruiting these kids and going to watch them when they're 12, 13, 14.
And a slice foul, long run. Denning sees it drop just out of play.
But it's almost like you're late to the party if you don't want to head into the transfer portal as a coach and look to see who's available.
Oh, it's a big piece.
It's a huge piece.
But when you can pull freshmen like Powell and Megan Grant and Jordan Woolery, you know, that's win-win-win right there. Three-two. Got her on the inside corner looking for Lopez's second strikeout of the night, first out of the inning.
This is such a pretty pitch, Mark. She just paints the corner with the backdoor curveball right underneath the hands of Powell. The spot, everything is what it needs to be in that moment at a 3-2 count. Perfectly executed by the battery.
Another one of the UCLA freshmen, Alexis Ramirez, starting catcher tonight.
And one thing that really impressed me yesterday about Mariah Lopez was her plan of attack against the Husky hitters. She found a way to attack the inner half right out of the gate and said, this is my plate. I'm going to bring the curveball in on the righties' hands. I'm going to throw that back door and that rise ball in on the lefties. And I think that's a statement. Nowadays, you're seeing pitchers sometimes not really go as hard on the hands as they should. I think if you can instill a little fear in the hitter and say, I have no problem coming in on you, it sometimes gives them that little hint of doubt.
Driven to left center field. Plenty of room there for Abby Dayton to make the catch. And with 2 outs, Janelle Miono. Miono, who spent 3 seasons playing on this field for Arizona in her first year with the Bruins, and has a hit in each of the first 2 games of this tournament.
Pretty pitch by Lopez, spinning that curveball away. Sometimes those lefty-lefty matchups tend to favor the pitcher a little bit, especially when you have someone like Miono, who's so good being able to run through the box and track the pitches as a slapper. Makes it look easy.
2 Ks in the inning. From Part of the order up for Utah. Top of the 3rd inning. Lisa Bonstrom leads off. 2-run homer for her yesterday against Washington. She is ducking out of the way of one up and in from Faremo, but also Bonstrom just a couple RBIs away from becoming the all-time RBI leader in Utah softball history. There's the off-speed pitch on 2-0.
Well, look at the count. I mean, it's such a pretty pitch at a 2-0 count. Goes with the change. I mean, this is career for Bonstrom. 174 ribbies. 2 more to become that program's all-time leader. 45 home runs. One of them coming in this tournament. And I go back to 3 pitches ago, when Megan Faremo almost beamed Bonstrom with the up and in heater. And then she's come back-to-back pitches with the change and then the back door on the outside corner. That little hesitation for a hitter of like, dang, she almost threw 70 at my face.
Got in on her in a high fly to shallow medium center field. Janelle Miono. Well, the 2 best words in sports. Game 7 tomorrow. MVP Joel Embiid and the Sixers square off with Jason Tatum. Celtics in a winner-take-all game to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. Coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern on ABC with NBA Countdown. My partner is all happy tonight because her hometown Seattle Kraken on the NHL side won tonight to force Game 7.
Game 7
against Dallas.
But just even going back to the effectively wild mentality at times as a pitcher, sometimes when you just kind of zing one, you give that hitter that moment of like, dang, she really just do that? She just kind of threw that up at my face. You don't always need to be perfect as a pitcher.
Yeah, I'm sure you never did that at any point in your career.
Hey. I never intentionally tried to hurt someone.
No.
But that was my plate.
Yeah.
So if you want to stand on my plate, and this is where the strike zone is, and this is the corner that I want, I'm going to throw it there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're standing. But most pitchers have to have that mentality when you're out there in the circle. Like, this is my plate. I'm going to throw it where I want. And nowadays, you have these hitters heading up there with all the Terminator gear on and the Evo shields, but you're getting a lot more pitchers nowadays, Mark, that are throwing upper 60s, touching 70s. Like, this is the first year for me where I've seen a couple pitchers cruise at 73 to 74 miles an hour. Donnie Goborn for South Carolina and Carlin Pickens for Tennessee. You saw Carlin Pickens in person at 75 miles an hour. And you said that just hit different in person.
It did. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody throw harder in person than what I saw Pickens live in person in Fayetteville against Arkansas recently.
It's just that pop of the mitt and the release on these tall pitchers. Like you think about Megan Framo, she's about 6'1". When she finishes her release point, she is out of the circle. So it's almost like she releases it at 37 feet.
Ooh, oh, a foul. And hit her in the face, it appeared. And a strikeout for round number 2. Third K for Faremo.
When you know someone's stepping into that role too as a pitcher, White coming in at a 2-2 count, I mean, she's already at a disadvantage, so you're just going to pump a strike, throws that curveball.
Jumping on the first pitch, Hawkes drops it into left center field. Sophie Hawkes singles with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Second hit of the last couple of days for Hawkes. Had a 3-hit game. And a win over Cows. So she's hit in all 3 games they played. And gives a 2-out chance here to the catcher, Kendall Lundberg. Kendall, a strikeout victim her first time. Double and an RBI for Lundberg in their win yesterday over Washington.
I mean, Megan Framo going on her 50th pitch. Utah has definitely made her work.
And again, Faremo 2 days ago threw 139 pitches in a complete game win over Arizona.
And for a second there, I thought Arizona was going to pull through. We're close. UCLA ended up coming back. Megan Grant with that home run. They had back-to-back bombs. Megan Grant, Maya Brady. And UCLA ended up pulling ahead. But Arizona is kind of one of those teams for me right now with the postseason coming where, I mean, you got to look at the Pac-12 and how hard this strength of schedule is when you head into the conference play. It's definitely a grind, and you think of all these teams, majority of them are heading into Pac-12 with all winning schedules, and then it's just every single weekend you're beating up on each other. It's that constant trying to win and scrape and get everything you can, and you got to win to win. We know that, but sometimes you come out on the other end of it. But
she fans Lundberg for a second time and ends the Utes' 3rd inning. Midpoint of the Grant, a strikeout victim her first time. Haley White stays in the game and takes over at 3rd base. Julia Jimenez.
it's a good pitch. It's that backdoor curveball. She's gotten that pitch called for a strike. It'll be interesting to see here the second time through the lineup for UCLA, the adjustments they try to make on the lefty. 7 lefties in this lineup for UCLA. Grant
hits one to the alley in right center field. It's at the base of the fence. And Grant cruises into second with a leadoff double. Well, she had fanned 4 straight times going back to last night, and she gets back on the hit side with a double, her 14th of the year.
Good piece to the right side.
Sophie Hawkes and Abby Dayton came over to field that off the fence. I believe that's Hawkes who's slow getting up. Actually, that's Sophie. Apparently stumbled a little bit. That ball hit right in the crease, right at the base of the fence, which caused it to suddenly just die and trickle on the track, and Hawkes lost her footing for just a second, stayed on her feet, but now she's coming off the field. Just here in the last inning or so, a couple of injuries has taken 2 of the starters now out of the lineup for Utah.
Coach Amy Hogue just getting battle tested right here. Utah, a couple players within the last couple outs.
It's Shelby Ortiz going to take over in right field. So Utah will be tested. You got Hamidez, who's the 3-hole hitter, Hawkes, who's the cleanup hitter, both now out of the game for Utah. Kelly Gooden's going to run at second base for Grant. And Maya Brady comes up for UCLA. You know, a couple of unfortunate things have happened here to Utah. It's still a 2-1 game and relatively early. Maya Brady, who walked and scored on the 2-run home run by Jordan in the first, bats here.
When Hawkes, I think it was a knee. I don't think it was an ankle. I think if it was an ankle, she would have stayed out there because it didn't. Let's just hope everything's all good.
Yeah, tough to tell, but definitely hobbled, has to come out, and Maya Brady.
And that can be challenging for the pitcher, for Lopez, when you're out there and players are going down and you're trying to not only go up against a tough offense, but then you're trying to just feel the emotions.
Gooden's going to advance 60 feet. The infield creeps in now for the Utes. RBI chance here for Maya Brady with nobody out. Now this one kicks away, and here comes Gooden, who will score, and it's 3-1 UCLA. So back-to-back pitches in the dirt. Scores Gooden.
Yeah, back-to-back pitches, Mark, that aren't even close. It's almost like she just doesn't have that grip on her hand when she's trying to spin the curveball.
So UCLA has that initial 2-run lead back. 3-0 count on Brady, who walked on 4 pitches her first time up and does so again here.
And if I'm Paige Parker, I'm thinking about calling a timeout here soon. Just be able to go out there and just kind of calm the pitcher down a little bit. Like when 2 of your best players have gone down in a matter of a 10-minute span, I don't care what you say, you feel that as a pitcher, because this is a game that you play on emotion, and this is a Utah Utes team that definitely is fired up by each other. They're so locked in together. When something like that happens, it just kind of like rattles you a little bit.
Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, Jordan Woolery at the plate. Woolery hit the ball well, but lined out to the center fielder Abby Dayton back in the first inning. 0-2.
When Lopez has spun that rise ball, she's been able to get some good swings and misses on some tough hitters with that pitch up in the zone. Got Aaliyah Jordan on that pitch, making Grant. It's all about setting pitches up. That rise ball sets up something else. She throws that screwball there, but now it potentially allows for her to snap that curveball maybe in on the hands, throw something down and in on the righty.
That's through the hole on the right side. A base hit for Woolery, her first of the Pac-12 tournament. 2 runners are aboard for Aaliyah Jordan, who sent one into the Tucson night her first time up.
She was someone that is not going to get beat on the same pitch. That's not a huge miss by Mariah Lopez. That's a rise ball up and in. It's a tough situation because you got none out. You don't want to walk someone like Aaliyah Jordan, but you also know she just took you deep. Her last at bat. Want to try to find a pitch you can throw to get her to chase something off the plate. It's a good curveball.
Lopez coming up on the 50 pitch mark here. Goes right back to that same spot, hits it again, and gets ahead 1-2.
And I go right back to that spot, except I take it another ball and a half off, especially at a 1-2 count. See if you can try to get Aaliyah Jordan and just chase something on the outer half, use the defense.
Grounds it to short. There's the shovel to second for one, to first, a double play. Davison to Belardi to Bonstrom, 6-4-3. And Utah turns their 19th double play of the season.
This is a really good job by Lopez. Exactly what I said. She took this ball on the outer half. She set up the defense for the big double play. I love the effort by Aaliyah Jordan. We're talking about someone who's gotten ACL surgery, who's had to rehab, who's gone through it all, but the hustle up the line.
Maya Brady now the lone base runner. She's at third. Savannah Pola, Bruins hitter, grounded out her first time up. But if Pola's last several at-bats going back the last 2 games are any indication, it's probably going to be a long at-bat because she has gone deep in the count by every time up.
Yeah, she's scrappy in that 5 spot. Does a good job seeing a lot of pitches. It makes you work.
Coach Inouye Perez get the headset when we come back from the next break. Each team now with 4 hits in the game. UCLA, by the way, still just 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position in this Pac-12 tournament. Utah trying to limit the damage here in the third. A run in. A 3-1 pitch to Pola. And she's on with a walk. Another really good plate appearance. Savvy Pola. He puts runners at the corners. And redshirt senior Anna Vines at the plate. UCLA trying to win their 26th straight game and in the process win the first ever Pac-12 tournament championship. Anna Vines reached on a bunt base hit in her only at bat.
And White for Utah is creeping up, knowing that Vines does have that speed. May potentially challenge the defense yet again, try to create something on the base pass.
Danielle, this seems like a big hitter to me for a couple of reasons for Utah. I mean, let's face it, with the recent injuries, the energy in the place has kind of been drained away here in the last 10-15 minutes. And if for Utah, already down 2, you don't want to see that lead get any wider.
And Lopez just hasn't been as sharp as she was the other 2 innings, and you could probably put a good chunk of the blame on just the little bit of emotional roller coaster she's had to deal with a couple of her teammates, probably her good buddies going down. It's a whole other can of worms to try to deal with, as well as pitch into this offense.
Count evens at 2-2 on Anna Vines.
When we've seen Lopez spot the changeup in on those lefties, it's been an effective pitch for her.
Spins her around with one inside, and it's a full count. Already a couple runners on. 2-run lead for UCLA. 3-2 pitch from Mariah Lopez. Foul ball. A deep breath for Vines, the Temecula, California native.
And go with the change.
It was up and fouled away. The 8th pitch of this at bat will come next to Anna Vines.
It's good to see Vines back in the lineup, especially just the experience she brings, being that senior. Went down yesterday, but she's back.
Strokes it foul. Yeah, Anna Vines, 3rd team All Pac-12 this year. First time for her to get all conference recognition. A big deal for her, who's been in the program since her true freshman year in 2019. Became a starter in the 2021 season. Waiting on another 3-2 pitch from Lopez. A little bit inside, not by much. Back-to-back walks. That loads the bases.
I want this.
I know you do.
And you can tell the frustration. Lopez wanted that pitch. I wanted it for her.
So UCLA is going to go to the bench. Rachel Sid. And a hit here for Kennedy Powell. It has been a long bottom of the third. UCLA has scored once to get their original 2-run lead back and have the bases loaded, and Rachel Sid off the bench, the hitter with 2 outs.
This is a UCLA team. A couple weeks ago when these two teams squared off, I mean, they put up a ton of runs on Utah's staff. 24 runs given up by these pitchers to UCLA. They were swinging it big.
Rachel Sid 0 for 4 so far in the tournament. A couple of at-bats against Arizona, a couple more against Stanford last night. Oregon transfer, spent 4 years there, now a 5th-year senior. Chopper to the right side. Belardi gathers and throws her out, and it was a bit of a marathon. Gooden in left. Let's see how Utah responds here. They huddled up as a team outside their dugout during that last half-inning break. And I'm sure the message for the coaches was, hey, we've had a few bad breaks going on here the last few innings. But got to keep it all together. On a softball to plate. A nice chop right over the head of Maya Brady. And Abby Dayton, base hit, gives her a 7-game hitting streak and a season high for her. So here's what we're talking about, what went on during that last half-inning break.
Well, and I like the fact that they're just all kind of getting together. A lot of actions happened over the course of the last inning and a bit. Some injuries. The hitting coach, DJ Gasso, kind of rallied them and was giving his feedback on some things. And I think the connection piece is what makes Utah a very special and unique team. They are close-knit. And when one goes down, you almost feel like all of them go down because they are just so close. So I loved catching that in between innings. Good opportunity here with Dayton leading off, using the ground to her advantage.
Davidson, who homered her last time up, gets under it. Towering pop flies. Kelly Gooden calls off Maya Brady at the last moment.
And that was something that we talked to Coach Amy Hogue about. She really, just prior to this game, was talking about how some of these hitters are really going to use the dirt to their advantage. She's like, it's not this hard at our park, so if we get the opportunity to potentially utilize it and use it in our favor, we're going to, and you've seen them.
One on, one out. Haley Denning, the Utes hitter. Tap off the glove of Faremo and finds who is coming up the middle to try to possibly make a play. Scoops it up and has no play. And it's 2 on with 1 out.
And I think this was a hit and run type situation, because Vines was just pinching towards second base, knowing that Dayton was going. So everything kind of worked in Utah's favor there. Faremo, your natural instinct just to go up after the ball. If Vines isn't pinching towards second, she's going to field that and throw it to first. But Utah making some things happen here at the top of the 4th.
Nelson, fair, down the left field side. Dayton scores. Dayton scores. We're tied. Kayla Nelson, a 2-run double, and it's 3-3.
What did Amy Hogue say to us? We're putting Nelson in the 9 spot because she does a great job of covering the high heat. And this is a prime example right here. This pitch is up and away. She hits it to the left side, sees it deep in the zone. She could not have hit it to a better place. And this crowd erupted. The Utah fans travel great. Utah jacked about it. And that is a clutch AB from the 9-hitter.
Coach Hogue is going to send out a pinch runner. Jordan Gasper is going to run for Nelson, who gets a nice hand as she comes off the field. I'm trying to understand the dynamics of the crowd here. There's definitely a pretty good size of UCLA fans as well as Utah fans, but I think the local people from Arizona are just so anti-UCLA that they are behind Utah in this game.
I mean, can you blame them?
Well, no, there's a lot of history between those two legendary programs that have the most Women's College World Series championships of any two schools. Top of the order, Aaliyah Belardi. Saying he's a Utes fan. Leah tonight 1 for 2. She singled in the first off Faremo to lead off the game.
Really good job by Utah this inning, Mark. I mean, Dayton with just the clutch leadoff base hit, slapping it over Brady's head, passing on that momentum. And I think with everything going on, that little meeting of the minds, getting everyone connected, and hitting Coach DJ Gasso, talking to everyone, those little things are so important to keep the connection of the team going.
We'll have a chance to visit with Coach Hogue and get to the next inning. So much to ask. There's DJ Gasso.
I mean, we were talking to him before the game. He said his pops was just in town. Dad was here seeing his grandbaby. He actually made his way back home to Oklahoma to watch Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. Madison Shipman was on that call.
Belardi liner to left field, but there's Gooden. Hit well by Belardi. She is the second out. Got to respect the resiliency from Utah here.
Well, and this just gives a little extra life to Mariah Lopez, who, you know, in the circle, she was hurting. And it's not to say that her stuff wasn't working, but it's almost like she was just fogged by everything going on. And you cannot blame your ace to be feeling that way. You just see her right there. She's just giving Jimenez a big old hug.
Happy to see Julia Jimenez still has that ice pack underneath her eye, but moving around in the dugout.
Well, and based on where she has the ice right now, that's a whole lot better than up on the eye, where things could have.
Very frightening.
Yes. Seems to be up and moving around, talking to her teammates.
Lisa Fernandez came out to talk with the Bruins. So Coach Hogue used that opportunity to visit with her team. And, you know, Jimenez has been playing so well. So well. Gets a hug there from pitching coach Paige Parker. Two-run double from Kayla Nelson has tied this game for Utah here in the top of the fourth. Alyssa Bonstrom, 0 for 2, fly to center last time up.
And Framo,
Wow,
Mark,
did you just pitch around her there? Or just lose location?
Put me on the spot, but I think a little bit of both. I think this inning, she just definitely has not been as sharp. You've seen Utah do a pretty good job of making the adjustments, but I think once you kind of fall behind to a hitter like Bonstrom and you're already at 2-0, it's like, all right, hey, I'm at an open base. Let's go and attack White, because White hasn't gotten AB. I mean, she had to go in for one pitch at a 2-2 count that Jimenez had before she ended up leaving this game. So I'm just going with the mentality of pumping strikes. You have 2 down. Who would you rather attack in the moment? White, who has limited at-bats in this tournament, or Bonstrom? Hashtag White all day.
Ramo ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Jimenez leaving the dugout. Getting some more hugs. And by the way, putting you on the spot is one of the things I do to amuse myself.
Oh,
very entertaining.
That's good to hear. You know, usually the analyst doesn't put the play-by-play on the spot much, but
if you want to reciprocate, you go right to it.
Put my thinking cap on.
0-2 pitch. Hitter. Oh. Say, this has been a physically taxing few innings here for Utah's. Now White, who came into the game because of Jimenez getting hurt, gets hit herself.
And I'm almost surprised she doesn't have an Evo shield on. Majority of the hitters in the game these days are wearing something that's covering that elbow, and that hurts. It is not funny. The funny bone gets you, and it just kind of stings different, and you can tell she's definitely a little bit of pain. Utah just getting beat up today, Mark.
And now you got Ortiz going to bat for the first time in the game. She had to come in when the right fielder Sophie Hawkes was injured, chasing a drive off the right field fence. So White staying in there at first base. Here is Ortiz. Foul tip, strike 1.
She's blowing that one by her with the heat.
First at bat of this game for Ortiz. They have 2 RBIs in their win over Cal 2 days ago. Not a big sample size, but Ortiz has done well with the bases loaded this year. Utah has 7 of the game's 11 hits. Battled back from 2-0 down and 3-1 down to tie this game. And now have their first lead. Ortiz, an RBI hit to left. 4-3 Utah.
So good to be able to just stay on plane with that pitch, especially behind in the count. She just hits it through the left side. Really good piece of hitting. And Utah is just rallying together here, Mark. I love to see it.
And yes, the complete game win last night, 7 innings, only 2 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And she only threw 78 pitches in the 7 innings. Comes in on the hands of Lundberg, and it's fouled back.
Not a bad line. Love that there's no walks. Means she's pumping strikes. She's getting ahead of these hitters.
Check swing foul. 0-2 count on Lundberg, who is the 9th hitter to come up to the plate in this inning for Utah. It all began with an Abby Dayton base hit to left.
And the one thing you cannot deny of this Utah team is they can swing it. I mean, they have scored the most runs in this tournament by far in comparison to everyone else.
Staying alive. Last time Utah won a conference tournament title was 2006 when they were in the Mountain West Conference. Been in the Pac-12 for 11 years.
But this is a team that, I mean, they've put up 18 runs and are batting .364 as a squad. And that's tough to go up against as a pitcher, because you know that they're going to be scrappy, they're going to be tough, they're going to find a way to put the ball in play.
Lundberg keeps hanging in. Well, Utah came into this game hitting over 300 on the season as a team. What they've done in the Pac-12 tournament, quite a bit above that.
I think they're definitely rallying behind each other. A lot's gone on.
Out to Vines at second. That will end the inning, but 9 batters come to the plate. And Utah scores 3 to take the lead. The Utes.
To say that, like, you got to have the trust in your hitters, and that quick little pep talk by DJ Gasso. And then it helps for a pitcher when your team's able to go put a 3 spot up and give you the lead in the bottom of the 4th.
We had a great chat with Coach before the game. Coach Hogue said, "What are you guys going to do for the selection show tomorrow?" She said, "We have an alum of the program, Mona Stevens, is going to host us. So, Mona, get ready. It's probably going to be a pretty good party, because
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure that they're going to hear their name win or lose this game. They'll be in the NCAA tournament." I'm sure they'd be a lot more relaxed and happy, though, if they were to take that trophy home. Here's DJ Gasso. Three balls and a strike. Alexis Ramirez leading off UCLA in the bottom of the 4th. Alexis fly to center her first time up. Sends this to right. Ortiz there to make the play.
Well, pitching coach Paige Parker, it's her first year calling pitches. Amy Hogue has done it her whole entire career, all 16 seasons that she's been at Utah, and Paige Parker said she wants to do it. Coach Hogue was like, "Man, are you willing to put in the work? It takes a lot of time." She says, "Yes, I'm willing to put in that work. You put that trust in me." And Coach Amy Hogue strictly works with the defense now. I'm sure they bounce ideas back off each other, but one thing I thought was pretty cool was just how Paige Parker had mentioned to Amy Hogue about how she's just really going to help turn these pitchers into strikeout pitchers. And yeah, you got to worry about the defense, but at the end of the day, if you're able to at times step up and get those big strikeouts, sometimes you don't need to worry about the defense. And Lopez has doubled her strikeouts this year.
This is a tough play. does skip away. Meoño will go down to second and all the way to third. Davison was trying to make a tremendous play in the hole. It's short. And when that ball scooted past Bodstrom, Meoño with her speed was off to the races.
Well, this is all Davison can do. She's deep in the hole, and it gets by Bodstrom, and then it gets by Ortiz and Wright, and way too much speed by Meoño in that 9 spot.
So it's a single E6 on the throw, and there's the tying run at third base with one out in the top of the order up.
And that was a closer play with Davison than I thought it was. I think if she was able to get the throw on the money, it might have been closer, but the way her body was, momentum, it kind of took the throw offline.
Which with Meoño's speed would have been
incredible,
unbelievable to pull that off. Grant doubled her last time up, her first hit of this Pac-12 tournament. Take that back. She did have a couple of hits, including a home run in the Arizona game. Went hitless against Stanford last night. Like that, a huge home run in that win over Arizona. Skies this foul. Will it stay in play? Right to the bottom of the screen above the dugout.
And last night's battle of getting to see the freshman Nyjah Kennedy go up against the freshman Megan Grant, like, it's cool when you start to see the, you know, the future of these programs or players like this being a freshman.
It was outside.
Was it, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. All right, fine, I'll give that to you. The pitcher in me always wants for the pitcher out there, but I'll say that was probably middle of their batter's box, but Lundberg does a good job framing that pitch behind the dish.
Did she go? Yes, on the appeal. That's a big strikeout because it's going to bring up Maya Brady, who they really have taken the bat out of her hands tonight. She hasn't seen a strike. We'll see if she sees one here.
When just exploiting the up pitch, and that's a pitch that Grant tends to swing at a good amount. Looks like a cookie, but ends up skipping and jumping way up out of the zone. Really good spot by Lopez. And I like this intentional walk, Mark.
Well, be careful if you're Lopez. Don't want to send it to the screen. But last time up, remember, Gooden was pinch running. She was at second, and they're pitching around Brady, and she spiked a couple in the dirt, and Gooden was able to come around to score. They're not even going to mess with that here with the tying run at third base.
And it just goes to show the respect on the name of Maya Brady. And, you know, the line of not letting the best player beat you. Well, this is kind of one of those deals with the tying run on third base. I want no part of Brady. I put her on, and I challenged the freshman, Woolry. I know she is the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, and she's batting in the 3 spot for a reason. But I would rather go down facing someone like that than the vet and the leader and the heartbeat of this team in Maya Brady.
Brady walks for a third time, this time intentionally, the real intentional pass. Woolery singled last time up with a base hit to right, line to center her first time up, so she's had 2 really good at bats. Two and nothing.
Now Lopez in a little bit of a pickle here. 2-0 count. No, you need to bring something. If I'm Woolery, I'm thinking backdoor curveball on the outer half, trying to punch it through the right side.
It's the outside corner there.
Coach Kelly Inouye Perez coming out, talking to the umpire a little bit. But let's be realistic. That pitch wasn't being called last inning. It wasn't.
I know. That will be fair. It ties the game. Aoño scores, quickly cut off by Denning, which kept Brady from advancing to third, but it is now 4-4 as Woolery has her 46th RBI.
She just turns on this pitch on the inner half. Not fooled by the curve on her hands. Just finds a way to get in there. It's a game of inches.
So Leah Jordan comes up, hit the 2-run home run in the first to open the scoring. Rolled into a 6-4-3 double play last time.
We've seen Aaliyah Jordan take that curveball on the outer half. Got to a quick 0-2 on her last AB and then hit into that double play. If I'm Lopez, I remember that. I hit good spots on the outer half.
Right side, backing up on it, fielded by Botstrom. She wins the race to the bag to win the inning. But the Bruins respond. They come back and tie it on the Woolery base hit, and we're 4-4. Won the last couple, and UCLA's season, as this is a bouncy ball knocked down. Vines has time and throws out Abby Dayton for the first out. Well, tomorrow night, Sunday Night Baseball, Fenway Park. Red Sox host the Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app, with baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. Davidson comes up. What I was about to mention about OU is that their season has been ended. I should say about UCLA. Their season has ended against Oklahoma every year since 2019. They beat Oklahoma in 2019 to win the title. Have lost to them in the Women's College World Series to end their season in the following seasons. So don't be totally shocked if in the early part of June UCLA and OU hook up again at some point. They did play once this year, which was a resounding OU win. It was played at the Mary Nutter Classic back on February 26th, a 14-0 5-inning win. But I think even Patty Gasso would say at this point, yeah, that's ancient history.
Well, it's a new season too. The one thing I will say, after going back and getting to watch that game, even though it was quite some time ago, what makes OU so great and separates them at times from a lot of teams is, number one, they can make adjustments, which most people know, but they were hunting pitches up in the zone off Megan Framo and hitting tanks off pitches way above their eyes. That's tough to teach. You can't teach someone to swing a ball over their head and be able to barrel it up with enough power to take you deep on it. So obviously OU's doing something right. You got a little OU feel with DJ Gasso in the dugout and Paige Parker. And I think that they're a good chunk of why Utah is playing the way they are. They're bringing that swagger and the characteristics to this Utah team.
Yanez strikes out Davison for the second out.
Really pretty pitch by Yanez. Climbs the ladder well and does a really good job of being able to throw that pitch away to those right-handed hitters.
With 2 outs, Dinning bouncing it towards the middle, and Brady not quite able to get to it, going hard to her left. There's a 2-out single for Dinning, her second hit of the game.
When she gets on base, Mark, she's someone that I think is going to steal, no doubt. 28 for 34 in stolen bases. You've got to love that from your 8-hole hitter.
This would seem to be an ideal time to attempt that.
It would.
Kayla Nelson had a big impact on this game for the Utes with a 2-run double in the 4th. Part of a 3-run inning that briefly gave the Utes the lead. Takes a strike. His first ever Pac-12 tournament title game, tied at 4. Top of the 5th. Back to Yanez. She speared that hot shot. Throws out Nelson to end the inning. Who's going to take home the trophy tonight? We're tied at 4. Midpoint of the 5th in Tucson.
I miss Alo.
Is that good?
I miss seeing her in the game.
Yeah,
like she was just, we may never ever see a hitter like that again. Who made that much of an impact when she stepped in the box. Obviously she had help. It's not like she ever had to do it all by herself, but it kind of got to the point where it's like, oh, if we're going to put Alo on, we got to attack Tiare Jennings. We're going to have to go up against these hitters. So she was getting pitches because she was so stacked behind her.
That's driven to deep right center field. What a diving catch! Abby Dayton steals extra bases away from Savannah Pola.
Get out of here. This is so good, but it's the energy. She catches it and gets up, and it's an instant connect with her teammates. Fire me up. Ooh, got goosebumps up here.
Well, Pac-12 first teamer coming up with a defensive gem. One loud out in the UCLA 5th. Now Anna Vine's turn, who's been on base twice. The bump base hit and a walk.
Well, if I'm the defense, first and third, I know it all day. White pinching up the line a little bit. She will challenge that defense with her speed. So good at being able to deaden that ball out in front and get up the line.
Balls at a strike on Vines. Mariah Lopez Jr. right here in Tucson, pitching for the Utes for a Pac-12 tournament title. Fields it down at her ankles and throws out Anna Vines. I tell you what, Maria Lopez has shown me something these last several innings. Well, the WNBA season begins Friday. We'll bring you Brittany Griner's return to the court. The Mercury take on the Sparks in Los Angeles. Coverage begins at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and for the first time on ESPN Plus. Two down. Rachel Sid will bat. Backing out of play. Have you seen the same from Mariah Lopez the last few innings?
Understanding the fact that your team rallied behind everything going on and putting runs up on the board gives you a little extra life and swagger out there in the circle. And you can tell just by how she has been throwing. And when your team's able to step up, I mean, you look at Dayton lay out for that. It's a Sports Center potential top 10 play. And those are the little things. This is a game of energy. And the teams at times that have the most and have each other's back and are just that constant in each other's ear all the time are the ones that are the most fun to watch. And that's what you're seeing from Utah here, even though obviously a lot going on with Jimenez and Jaquez having to leave the game.
Upstairs to Sid, 2 balls and a strike. Maybe a little bit up, 3 balls and a strike.
Hey,
you shake your
hey
head.
over there, you.
Let's see what Mariah Lopez brings on 3 balls and a strike.
In her 100th pitch of the day.
She got that borderline call that time. Full count.
Goes with a backdoor. She could get the change working like she had it yesterday. That's a pitch I sneak in here.
Line to second. Caught by Velarde, and it's the first 1-2-3 inning by either time.
Bubble no mole, because you won the conference tournament. You're in.
By the way, the Summit League being played up in South Dakota has gotten a lot of rain, so they're actually going to finish tomorrow. So there will be one more conference with an automatic berth still to be decided, even after we're finished here in Tucson tonight, because of the wet weather in South Dakota.
And if you're a UCLA, Mark, I look at the way that Brooke Yanez has been pitching lately, and I'm here for it. And it's not to say that I don't think Megan Framel will turn it around in the postseason, but I don't think she's been as sharp as she needs to be in this Pac-12 tournament.
Bunted in the air and caught. The first baseman, Jordan Woolery. Well, the 2 best words in sports. It's Game 7 tomorrow. MVP Joel Embiid and the Sixers square off against Jason Tatum's Celtics. A winner-take-all game to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. Coverage starts at 2:30 Eastern on ABC with NBA Countdown. Bonstrom tries to bunt her way on and fouls it.
And I also think that Brooke Yanez and just how polar opposite she is of Megan Framel, they complement each other so well that you know you're going to need a good chunk of arms in the postseason to be successful and to make it far. The fact that she's a lefty, she tends to be a little bit more down in the zone with that changeup. Megan Framel has that rise ball, a little bit more velo.
Roped into center field. Bonstrom with a base hit. Third hit of the Pac-12 tournament for Alyssa Bonstrom. You were right about Brooke Yanez, though. I mean, and again, it's just the sample size of the Pac-12 tournament. She's been UCLA's best pitcher here the last 3 days.
Yeah, Framo just a little bit uncharacteristic. Giving up a lot of hits. The postseason is a new season, meaning every part of the season has its little piece. Preseason, and then you have conference, and then you have a conference tournament. And then you head into selection show tomorrow and you see kind of where your fate lies, where you're going to be at. And for some reason, even though I'm not in it, I still get nervous about it, because you know how much it means to the women and how much work goes into competing to be an elite level athlete. So it's going to sleep tonight for some teams thinking, are we going to get the chance to continue to keep playing, or are we done? And sometimes that's an eerie feeling to have, especially for the seniors.
Haley White hit by pitch in her only plate appearance. Utah down 2 starters. Julia Jimenez, third baseman. Right fielder Sophie Hawkes, the right fielder. The 3- and 4-hole hitters for Utah, both injured earlier in the game, had to depart. White, one of those replacements. Well, being that this is the first ever Pac-12 tournament, cool for one of these programs to be the first to win one. If you're UCLA, though, win or lose, you're ironclad a top 8 seed, so you know that you control your own destiny to get to Oklahoma City. That ball out of reach. Meonio has to chase it. Bonstrom heading for the plate. And Utah back in front, a double. Haley White off the bench from earlier in the game with a huge hit for the Utes.
And this is just so clutch by White. I mean, you couldn't put it in a better spot with Bonstrom on 1. Gets by the speedy Meonio.
Second double of the season. Haley White, who's a freshman at Martin Luther King High School in Riverside, California. Now, Haley White had 14 total at bats on the season coming in. If you had told her this morning when she woke up that you're going to have a base hit to put your team in the lead in the title game tonight, she probably would have thought,
It's funny how the game works, though,
yeah,
right?
it is.
Like
that's the great part of it.
Of course, someone like that is going to step up in a big situation and going to be tested with all eyes on her to be that one to hit in the go-ahead run here for Utah. And probably the good juju coming from Jimenez, who had to leave this game.
That is not a foul ball. It's a live ball, and it allows White to advance to third. So now that's going to bring the infielders in tighter. One-two count on Ortiz. Towards first, foul ball. Foul ball. Woolery came up with that right on the line, decided to field it. I think she was just selling out. She's like, if this is fair or foul, I'm going to field it and throw home.
Based on where she's standing and the angle of the ball here, I'm not fielding that. Too much speed from White at third. I want to let that go foul.
That hit the bat twice. That's a foul ball. See if this stays in play, twisting back into the stands.
And a really good scrappy at bat here by Ortiz. She had a good at-bat. Previous, fouled off a lot of pitches. Hit it to the left side.
Yeah, singled homer run in that at-bat, which was the last batter Faremo faced before departing. And Yanez wins the battle. She gets the huge strikeout for the Bruins for the second out.
Great pitch by Brooke Yanez. She takes this curveball, gives a little extra wiggle up in the zone and out. I love the lefty-lefty battery. Ramirez behind the plate, left-handed catcher. You got the lefty pitcher in sync.
Hallie Morris is going to come off the bench for Utah. The bat here. There's another one of the Tucson natives on this team for Utah. Canyon Del Oro High School, a senior now. Utah has scored one so far here in the top of the sixth to take the lead. Haley White at third now with 2 outs. Yanez with the 0-1.
Good adjustment by Morris, laying off that rise ball.
Foul tip. And Ramirez mitt. Ball and 2 strikes. This is only the 4th time all season that UCLA has allowed 5 or more runs in a game.
You can't deny what Utah's been able to do offensively, though, especially in this tournament. But they're a team, for me, that is just quickly gaining steam every single game and getting better and better. Better run production, good at bats.
Good take there by Morris. 2-2.
It's a really good at-bat by Morris here, Mark. Swings and misses her first pitch of the at-bat on the rise ball way up in the zone and then battles back to a 3-2 count, making Brooke Yanez work. And that's the thing. They're having some of these hitters come off the bench that are just battling, right?
That's another
really
impressive part
outs.
of what Utah's doing here tonight.
Yeah.
You use the word scrappy, and I think that's a good word. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. A drive, deep center, into the hitter's backdrop, a home run. Tucson native Hallie Morris, a 2-run blast, and it's 7-4 Utah.
What a good at-bat by Morris. This is a pitch she swung and missed at. The first pitch of this at-bat, hands straight up in the air. She knows it. Those are the things that you remember through sport forever. Those moments in time. That's why you love sport. That's why you play it, for moments like that. Coach Amy Hogue loves it. It's a dangerous team, Mark.
Wow, what a story. And that ball was absolutely undressed, hammered to center field.
Well, and it's the adjustment piece. It's a swing and miss on it previously, and then battling and seeing a lot of pitches. Yanez working up in the zone, Morris not swinging, and then going after that pitch away.
Yanez has to wait. It's going to be close. Out is the call. We do have replay, of course, on site here in Tucson. Let's see if Hogue wants to challenge it.
I mean, Morris. What? Pinch hit, seeing a ton of pitches, celebrating with their teammates. And they are going to challenge this. And to be frank, we have not seen a whole lot of challenges in this tournament. And if they're there, I don't know why you wouldn't use them. That was such a close play to the naked eye. Call on the field is out at first base.
See, Woolery has to get back to the bag as far in as she was playing.
Ooh. Dang, that's good. I think the call on the field was the right call, but great job by the replay review. Just getting the good angles, the slow-mo.
Wow, it's bang bang, but with the call being out on the field, have you seen anything that would overturn it? I haven't.
No, I think Calvin Walker made the right call. Yep.
And they're going to uphold the call at first base. Then it is an out. So it does take us to the end of the top of the sixth. Battle for that trophy for the first ever Pac-12 tournament title. Ramirez, liner off the glove. It's right to the shortstop. Throw to first. Dig. Out. It took a few moments. Calvin Walker thought about it. That is a 1-6-3 putout. Now let's see if perhaps Coach Inoue Perez wants to challenge this, and that's going to be the case. So you were just saying how few challenges we've had, and now we're going to get them on back-to-back plays between two half innings.
Well, prior to this inning, when the other challenge was going on, Coach Kelly Inoue Perez had the whole UCLA team rounded up, and she was absolutely laying into them. And Ramirez hits this hard. Davison just a little bit of a bobble, but I like the hop, but more importantly, I love the pick. Love me a good pick. Bondstrom does a good job tracking this. She's out.
You get screened a little bit by the head of Lisa Fernandez there with that particular look, but I think you can assume the ball is in the glove, and yes, the call has been upheld as an out. So how about Calvin Walker, the first base umpire? Back-to-back plays in this game that he called. Go to review.
And they've been the right ones.
And he got them right.
Hey,
yeah. Good for
kudos to you. That's hard. That's hard to do. I mean, I know that they're umpires and their job is to try to make the right call, but those bang-bang plays are hard to the naked eye. I'll just say that.
No doubt. And that's a huge first out of the inning for Utah. Janelle Mayoño 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Ryan Lopez, since the RBI base hit by Woolery in the fourth, has set down the last 5 UCLA hitters in a row. Regular season champs, UCLA. Down by 3, getting late in this game. 0-2 pitch. ...105 pitches Mariah Lopez. Got the conga line going in the Bruins dugout. Towards third, gather, throw, really nice play. Haley White. Some players who have been called upon due to injury to other teammates have been unbelievably good off the bench tonight for Utah.
On point. You see White come across and get this. Does not let the pressure of the speed of Mionia up the line affect her whatsoever. She fields it cleanly. She makes the money throw on the run.
And that's Mionia running there.
I know.
As if he needed reminding, but really impressive play. Top of the order now. Megan Grant. When we talked with Amy Hogue, the head coach of the Utes, in the top of the fourth inning, she described when they were down 3-1 to UCLA that it felt like they were down 8-1.
Yeah.
They lose 2 starters to injury. Here they are now with a 3-run lead with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
I mean, just to talk about the pop of the offense here for Utah right now, Mark. I mean, their last 6 games, they've had 12 home runs. Previous 18 games, they had 6 home runs. I mean, no big deal.
I guess you talk about teams wanting to peak at the right time. Certainly feels like Utah
Yeah.
is finding their groove at the perfect time of year.
I think the most impressive thing that I'm seeing today from them is just having each other's backs through the heart of what's gone on in this game.
Grant is on with a 2-out walk. Ends a string of 6 in a row retired by Mariah Lopez.
And this was a team with what happened to a couple players could have easily just thrown in the towel and said, man, those are our 2 best players. They're out. Like, what's going to happen now? But they've just continued to fight. And now you got to see that side of UCLA.
So here's an interesting point. I mean, they have not pitched to Maya Brady all night. She has 3 of the 6 walks given up by Lopez. With a 3-run lead and her representing 2 runs, do they pitch to her? And they do, and she bounces it through the middle for a base hit. So it's going to get the tying run, the potential tying run to the plate in Woolery. Brady's on for a 4th time tonight.
And it's the curveball that just kind of stays a little bit too much white, but you also have to know at a 0-0 count, you want to bring something in for a strike.
And that's the first strike Maya Brady has seen all game.
Yeah, and she was ready for it.
Maureen looking on. Maureen Brady.
And that's 112 pitches for Mariah Lopez on the evening so far, and that's how many she had last night.
So after getting the first 2 in the inning, walk to Grant, base hit Brady, Woolery's up, who's really had 3 very good at-bats against Lopez tonight. Singles her last 2 times up for Woolery, and really probably the ball she hit hardest was the one she hit in the first inning when she lined out to center field in Dayton.
And UCLA with an opportunity here with Woolery. Tying run, makes it to the plate. This is the type of fight you want to see from this UCLA team, who struggled a little bit offensively in this tournament. They found a way to win, don't get me wrong. But they have not hit like the typical UCLA has hit.
Really good play by Lundberg to keep that from going to the backstop. That's the wrist numbers so far tonight. Two and 0.
You just want to be careful. When you get behind a little bit, you don't want to throw anything too sweet. You still want to focus on hitting a good corner. And she does just that. Majority of the hitters are not stepping into the box at hitter's count and going, oh, the change piece is coming. You catch her off guard. I'm not opposed to throwing that pitch again.
That one drops a little bit low. 3 balls and a strike to the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, first team All Pac-12 Jordan Woolery.
I'm down for that energy.
That loads him up. And you got Jordan coming up with a 2-run home run of Lopez back in the first inning.
This was a no doubt about it. Up and in all day. She just turns on it and gets UCLA on the board.
Felicia Jordan.
Ooh, it's hard being a mom in these situations.
Left field. Denning back at the track, makes the catch. Leah Jordan jumping on the first pitch, lines out.
I think that young lady will remember forever just what it felt like rounding the bases. When you look at UCLA today, I mean, giving up 12 hits, it's the second most that's been allowed by OU this year. Next up was Oklahoma. Kind of funny how that links up there.
Yeah.
With
You're saying because there's a Gasso in the Utah dugout?
I am saying that.
Harley Davidson, a solo home run in the second. That was the first run of the game for Utah. Look at DJ Gasso, his third season as the hitting coach. One of the sons of Patty Gasso, not to be confused with brother JT Gasso, who's still on the OU staff. Third base, gathered Rachel Sid.
And the importance here for UCLA to try to have a good quick inning to get themselves back in the dugout, try to fight the bottom of the seventh. Had some good things brewing last inning, just weren't able to execute.
Pola, Vines, and Sid due up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters when we do get to the bottom of the seventh. That is out. She was out of the batter's box. Denning was. The plate umpire making the call. Ed Cooper saying she is out. Coach O coming down the line, wanting to discuss that further.
And body out of the box, makes contact with her. If you're out of the box, you are out.
Tracy Laycock joins the conversation. Third base umpire. Looks to be pretty cut and dried what we saw. She's out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, they're going to review it. She talked him into it. We're in the 7th inning. I don't think this is going to take too terribly long.
This will be a good angle. What's up, lost me?
Yeah. I know the chalk lines are kind of a bit mixed up this late in the game, but still look very conclusive that she was in front of the plate up and out of the box. Well, while we have a moment, let me bounce a few things off you here.
Tell me.
UCLA has not lost in the last 50 days. Have not lost since March 24th at Oregon. It has been a while. They have won 25 games in a row. So calls upheld. She's out. UCLA is going to be trailing it by at least 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Not only with that long winning streak on the line, but their chance to win the first ever Pac-12 tournament.
I know. And there's something about winning the season outright and going in and expected to win. There's a different bullseye on you when you're supposed to win. And I think the underdog mentality that Utah has taken into this tournament has been really cool to see. There's this different pressure knowing that, hey, we're UCLA, we won the Pac-12 season, we didn't lose a Pac-12 series. We're supposed to win.
Nelson turns on it out to right field, but it hangs up enough. Pola to make the catch. Speaking of Pola, she's due to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Can Utah close it out? Can UCLA come back in this Pac-12 tournament title game? Try to finish things off. She's already at 118 pitches. After throwing 112 pitches in a complete game win over Washington yesterday. All right, here we go. Hold it tonight, 0 for 2. She does have a walk. Fly to center last time. She's had some of the better at bats, really all tournament long for UCLA. So don't let the 0 for 2 deceive you.
She's scrappy, sees a lot of pitches, fights like crazy. And she's who you want up in this situation. Try to get something brewing here for UCLA.
Yeah, if you're the Bruins, you need base runners. I mean, hitting out of the ball out of the ballpark's fine, but you need base runners. Chopped to short. Davison fires, 1 out. A big first out of the bottom of the 7th for Mariah Lopez and the Utes defense. See what's at stake. UCLA 25 straight wins coming in. They've only lost 4 times all year. Lost once to Washington, once to Oregon, once to Cal in conference play, and once to OU in non-conference. There's a first pitch strike to Vines.
And I feel like you're seeing Utah beat some big teams here that had their numbers in Pac-12 conference play. You saw them do it with the Huskies. They won 1, lost 2 to them, ended up beating them when it mattered, and then you're seeing the same thing happen right here. Swept by UCLA. But in this tournament, a completely different team, and that's just continuing to climb the mountain as the season goes on to get better and learn and adjust. And you aren't the same team you are when you take the field in February or March or April. You want to be your best version of yourself in May, and right now this is a fuego team that I think can go toe-to-toe with any team in the country right now with the way that they're swinging it.
UCLA went to Salt Lake City at the end of April. Swept a 3-game series from Utah, outscoring the Utes 24-4 in those 3 games. This time the Pac-12 tournament's on the line. Slow roller. Charging. The underhand shovel by Belardi. And Utah. I repeat, Utah is one defensive out away from winning the Pac-12 tournament.
And this is a team right now, Mark, that, I mean, they swept Stanford. And there's a good chance Stanford's going to be a top 8 seed, but I'm just looking at how Utah is playing right now. Not sure if the selection committee is listening in at all, but
I bet they are. This is going to make a huge impact if they pull this off.
And I would highly consider this team to go pretty high with just what they've been able to do.
Selection show tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, here on ESPN2. Don't miss it. She goes around. Rachel sits. Strike one.
And these are the fun emotions when you're out there. You got 2 down. You got a 3-run cushion as a pitcher. That's what you miss when you're done. Just your heart pounding a little bit, knowing how much is on the line. The fans, you're playing with your sisters. There's so much. And you just need to try to calm down, enjoy it, execute the good pitch. And at times I would remember putting my hand on the ball and it shaking a little bit and having to remind myself, like, okay, take a breath, you're good, just execute the spot. Because the emotions just start to rise.
Two balls and a strike. Next pitch will be number 130 on the night from Mariah Lopez. Bruins down to their final strike. The first ever Pac-12 tournament championship belongs to Utah.
Aww.
peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are